I'm Rob. This is Charlie. Welcome to the running journey.
Welcome.
This is my brother Charlie. Today, we're doing a race. Charlie and I are doing another race, the St. Malo Triathlon, home of the Warriors. Great course. Charlie loves it. Charlie thinks it's very, very fast.
Oh yeah, it's fast.
Charlie, how did you sleep last night? Race day.
Oh man, I don't know what happened, if I forgot it was race day or what, but well, I went to bed pretty late, so I guess I was super tired. Anyways, I woke up and I was so out of it, I had forgotten it was race day. Usually, anytime there's a race, I'm like up before my alarm clock, and today my alarm clock woke me up, and I was like, oh, what workout do I have today? Wasn't sure, and then I thought, oh, it's race today? Is all right. Like that triathlon snuck up on. I guess we've been having a race every weekend, so maybe that's why it's kind of losing its luster.
Oh no, that's sad.
No, maybe not, but like our dad said.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Charlie, you were notorious. I don't want to say hard sleeper, but you definitely had sleep. Like when we were kids, I remember you would sleep on the couch and you'd wake up and you'd be like, "Dude, what day is it? What do we have to go to school?" Like you were like always confused when you'd wake up from a nap. Yeah. Aggressively confused. I could just picture you this morning. Yeah. It's happening. And then you, when you settle in and realize it's race day, oh shit, I gotta get going. So did you miss your alarm?
No, I didn't miss my alarm.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. We have been doing a lot of races. I signed up for this one yesterday. We had kind of talked about it. I was kind of 80% sure I was going to do it, but I had to line up a few things for today. And so I am definitely not in race prep mode. I was also in bed late. You watched the game 6 yesterday, Edmonton?
Well, out of all the sporting events in Winnipeg, I ended up going to the Winnipeg Goldeyes game last night. Great game, very entertaining.
How are the Goldeyes doing?
They're 4.5 out of first now. They were 3.5, but they lost.
Lost a big game
with their ace starter. Kind of had a rough outing, but.
Okay, so you didn't watch game 7, game 6?
I got there at the end, and they were winning 3-1, and I saw the 2 empty net goals.
Okay. So Charlie and I were just debating this. So Edmonton was down 3-0 in the series. Sorry, a little bit of hockey talk for you guys that aren't Canadians. It's a sport. It's played on ice. It's our national sport.
Yeah. People move very fast when they play it.
They move very fast. Would you say
it takes a lot of skill?
How much do you like Edmonton? Do you like Edmonton?
Yeah, I do like it. I mean, I'm not a fan. I really like Connor McDavid, obviously.
But okay, if you had to rank your teams, what would they be?
I only have one team that I rank.
And it's the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, and then the Canadian team, so we're pretty much equal. And
they'd be ahead of the Jets or no?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Okay, so for me, it's the Jets, 1, because my hometown, Winnipeg Jets. 2 is Montreal Canadiens, because we bled bleu, blanc, rouge for most of our lives, because that's just what we did. We cheered for Montreal. But I really like Edmonton. I've been liking them now for several years. I've been saying this McDavid kid is going to win a cup. It's going to win a cup. I've been believing them all year. I'm not a bandwagon jumper. He's unbelievable to watch. If you like pure athletes and pure, best at their game at moments, if you like Michael Jordan in his prime, if you like Tiger Woods in his prime, I don't remember ever seeing a guy on a different level in hockey like Connor McDavid is right now. He's on a different level than these guys.
And that number 29 is not too bad either.
Draisaitl, he hasn't done much this series. He doesn't pop out like McDavid pops out, right?
Yeah. Well, McDavid he's so fast, right? But I think Draisaitl's got other skills that are, number 29, I'm going to do like my dad here and just do the number.
He's obviously Leo, because we're buddies, Leo and I. Yeah. He's obviously Leo is good and finishes, and I'm sure the analytics guys will disagree with me and say he's better than McDavid or whatever. But McDavid jumps out.
I don't think anyone would say he's better than McDavid.
Or he's better than what he looks like on paper, maybe.
Yeah.
He's so good, McDavid. He's just so good. Yeah. Nobody does zone entries like him. I've never seen that. Nobody. Their entire power play completely revolves around McDavid making every important decision. And every time he gets doubled, he finds someone down low. No wonder he's got 1 million assists. They always double him. They always come up on him, finds the open guy. Anyways, So I was
Yeah,
up
yeah.
late last night because I was booking my tickets to Game 7. So I'm
Nice.
going to
Nice.
Florida for Game 7. I'm pretty excited about that. And then like next thing you know, it's midnight. Like, we got a race tomorrow. I got to get to bed. So before we get to the race, are you training specifically for these things, or do you just kind of do them one off? Like you don't taper
I don't know. I think my coach, because we did the marathon.
Yeah, we did a marathon last week. Did a triathlon the
So
week
it
before.
was a pretty light week. I mean, I feel like I keep saying this in every podcast, I guess, but I feel like I'm barely running.
You need to start running. This is embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna fall apart.
So the running journey has taken a bit of a...
It's the biking journey.
It's the sometimes running journey.
The sometimes running journey, and for Rob, I'm going back to the running journey. I'm going to tell you about who I met yesterday at Manta. Or, I'll talk about
Manta?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
So my daughters had a swim meet at Manta.
Yeah.
My two youngest are in swimming, competitive swimming, but I mean, I say competitive. They're doing it for fun. They're not doing it for the race. They're young. They're not doing it for the races and stuff. And we tried competitive swimming because, I don't know, learn about the strokes and all that. Anyways, so it was the year-end
Good old
meet.
butterfly. Have you ever done it?
The butterfly?
Yeah.
It ruins my shoulder every time I do it. But yes, it's hard. That's a hard stroke.
So often in my workouts, my coach tells me to mix up the strokes, right?
Mix up the strokes. You're like, I only know one stroke, Patrick.
Yeah, mix up the strokes. So I do the breaststroke because that's kind of natural.
And that's what we do when we're tired at Ironman.
Yeah. And then I do the backstroke. But I've never, I'm too, I used to do it as a kid, try to breaststroke.
You and I remember racing.
Because I'd watch the Olympics and I'd be like, oh, that's awesome, and I'd want to try it. But I've never actually done the breaststroke in public, the butterfly in public.
At a real pool.
Yeah, because I feel like that would be so embarrassing.
Have you ever seen anyone do the butterfly?
Yeah. The
Okay.
good ones do it sometimes.
Okay, but I don't know if I've ever, well, I guess I'm focused on my swim, but you got to be really, really wanting to do your butterfly. It's not a fun stroke. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know much about it other than it's hard.
Well, what's her name? McIntosh, Canadian.
Mackenzie? No.
Mackenzie McIntosh? I don't know. There's a Canadian girl, 16 years old. She's got the world record in the IM.
She's going to win a medal. She's got multiple medals at the Olympics.
Yeah, it's going to be
We're
amazing.
excited for her. I'm actually really excited for the Olympics. It's
Yeah.
going to be,
Yeah,
it's a great 2
Yeah,
weeks.
our buddy Tyler, Leanne. They're going to crush it.
We know 2 Olympians. It's kind of cool. We've interviewed 2 Olympians for the show. The kids, your kids now are getting old enough that do they get into the Olympics?
We'll see. It'll be
Yeah, it's
they
fun.
were 5. My oldest was 5. I think he's going to love it this year now.
Remember us as kids?
Yeah,
we would
watch
just
every
park
single
event.
single minute.
Triathlon, let's go! Whatever sport was on, we'd watch, and we'd
Yeah.
watch the replays, and we
Yeah.
just swallowed it. It's too bad we never became Olympians, but maybe that dream hasn't sailed yet.
Yeah. I
so-
should have discovered cycling earlier, maybe. But
Have you been watching this Tour de France stuff? We talked about
the
this before?
documentary.
The Unchained, the season.
Yeah, I finished it yesterday.
Okay, don't tell me, because
Yeah.
I really don't know who won yet, but it's good TV. So I only watch it when I bike,
Yeah.
and spoiler, I've biked twice since my last triathlon. So I'm doing some bikes. I want to see what I can do today. But anyways, back to my Manta story.
The best episode is that guy that.
Jesper Disaster?
No. The guy that goes ahead with only 2 other guys.
Yeah.
The whole right from kilometer 1, and he ends up winning the stage.
I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, that'll be the best episode.
Quick spoiler, he wins the race. Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, and then the next race, he almost wins the next race by doing the exact same thing. Usually in cycling, I'm assuming you don't
You take one off. You take 2, 3 off.
If you go at the front and you're only 3 guys, you have 0 chance of winning usually. But this guy almost did it back to back.
Wow. So hopefully we didn't ruin it for you guys,
Yeah.
but ruin it for me anyways. So I'm at Manta.
No worries.
And
That's what I do.
You ruin TV shows for me?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm at Manta, and my daughter tells me she was wearing my backpack, my Ironman backpack, and she says, "Papa, someone over there asked me whose backpack this is," and I seen a parent during the race, and I looked, and we kind of made eye contact, and I was like, I know who that is, but I didn't know who it was. I couldn't piece it together. I knew who it was, and I was like, I know her from somewhere, but I couldn't figure it out. Anyways, so she tells me, this woman told me that she also has a backpack like this. So I'm like, oh, she went to Worlds. She went to Kona. And I was like, who could that be? How many Manitobans went to Kona, females? And I went, and she told me it's that woman right there. And sure enough, it was the woman that I had met. I went over to her, and I'm like, hey, I know you from somewhere. How do I know you? She's like, oh, I'm not sure. Super nice lady. It was none other than Dawn Neal.
Oh.
Manitoba Marathon winner.
Have we ever talked about the time that I was in this, I shared a lane with her in this, I don't know.
No, tell me.
So I went to St. Vital Pool and just randomly ended up being in the same lane as she was.
The best swimmer I've ever seen.
I was like halfway through my workout and she joined. And I was doing, that day I had like 50 meter all out intervals. And I remember I was doing my 50 meter all out intervals and she's doing her warm up backstroke. And she passes me like I'm not even moving.
Like you on the bike with me.
Yeah. But she was in her warm-up just doing the backstroke, and I was doing my all-out 50 meter sprint.
So an Olympic triathlon is 1,500 meters. Do you know what her personal best is on 1,500 meters swim?
Well, she did 21 minutes last year.
18.
Okay, wow.
18 minutes. Yeah. That's like double the speed almost that we're doing.
And she won the Manitoba Marathon.
She won the Manitoba Marathon.
Wow, shout out to her. She's amazing. Yeah.
Shout out to Dawn Neal. Yeah, so they're moving. Her family's moving. They're moving to Edmonton. But we started talking about Ironman, and you meet, I don't know. Have you met many people who've done Ironman since you've done yours?
No, I don't. Because I don't do the advertising like you do with the bag. And
yeah, the advertising.
and all the gear.
This is a chirp. He's chirping.
It's not a chirp.
No, it's a chirp. But the reason I do it, Charlie, is because I meet people who've done Ironman.
Now
and then I can immediately have a conversation about Ironman. I was there.
By the way, this loop, amazing. Anyways, keep going.
Scout Point loop here, Charlie's favorite loop.
Yeah.
You immediately have a conversation about Ironman. How did your Ironman go? Where did you qualify? How did you find it that day? You did Lake Placid. How was Lake Placid? Anyways, automatic fun conversations, automatic good times. Because someone's riding their helicopter. Because we went through the same thing. Whether I did it an 11 hour or she did, I don't know what she did. She probably did she's an unbelievable swimmer.
Probably did it faster than you.
No, I know she did.
She's not slow on the bike.
But like slower than how unbelievable she is at swimming and jogging.
Yeah. Biking is her worst event.
Biking's her worst, but she's not even that slow. But yeah, so she I mean, if she can do 18-minute triathlon, like remember last year she was like 6 minutes ahead of anyone out of the swim. And then I think we both caught her on the bike, and then like she crushed it. Obviously,
well, at the half Ironman last year that I did with her, so she finished third overall. I finished fourth right after her. She was like 10 minutes ahead of me after the swim. I caught up to her halfway through the bike, and I was like 5 minutes ahead of her going into the run, and then she passed me on the run.
She passed you on the run.
Yeah.
Okay, so she won the Manitoba Marathon with a 2:53. On Sunday.
Oh wow, that must have been she beat her time by 4 minutes from the previous year.
So she's a better runner than us, a better swimmer than us.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Dawn Neal. I saw her at Manta. Her kids are in Manta.
I wonder her kids must be pretty good swimmers, or
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good swimmers in that group, but yes, her kids are good swimmers. Anyway, so. What are you? Okay, you said you're not running right now. You're barely running. Well, what are you training right now? What is it like? I know you had an off week. It's kind of weird right now because there's races every weekend. But are you gonna get back into a steady kind of 3 bikes, 3 jogs, 1 swim groove or something like that?
Well, no. I think it'll be more like 4 or 5 jogs a week.
Yeah,
3 bikes, 2 swims. Something like that, but the bikes are really long.
I saw that. Your bikes are almost have to be double the length, right?
Yeah.
To get roughly the same output or whatever.
That's kind of what I feel, rule of thumb. Yeah.
So I did a bike this week on, I forget what it was, Tuesday, and it was my old FTP from the last time. So this is my first time that I did a real workout in forever.
Yeah.
And all my numbers were from when I was training for Nice and when I was training for Lake Placid Ironman.
Yeah.
So Patrick put a workout in there for me, for just like whatever it was, 70% FTP for X many minutes and then whatever.
Yeah.
But it was so hard for me. It felt like an all-out workout the whole time. So I'm way behind what I was 9 months ago. Like not even close. So I battled. I did it as best I could. I was dripping on the floor and I did it. But it was, at first I was like, this sucks.
What, like, was it supposed to be zone 2 and you did zone 5 or something? Or
I think I got to like 150 on my heart rate.
Oh, okay. That's not, well, for you, that's probably high.
It was hard. And then at the end, I was like, you know what? This doesn't suck. I kind of enjoyed it. Watching the Tour de France on TV and Tour de France, listen to me. Tour de France. And just kind of focusing on your wattage. And I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not going to be biking a ton. But I kind of enjoyed it, and I have not swam. I figure I would do enough swims with the triathlons, right? You probably still swim every week?
Well, this week not so much, but my normal program is 2 a week.
2 a week?
Which I feel like is like not enough, but cheater Ironman don't really need. I can just...
Can't believe you're doing a cheater Ironman.
I can just tread water.
Can't believe you're doing a cheater Ironman. Okay, so then I want to talk about this race real quick. And I know we just did a triathlon, so maybe you're sick and tired of hearing about triathlon prep, but we're going to talk about it for a bit. It's what we do on this podcast. And then I want to talk to you about my July 7th race that I have coming up. So...
July 7th?
My 100K.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you know Ryan was getting married?
Yeah, I did, yep.
I did not know that. So shout out to Ryan Bram. I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, do you want to be part of...
getting married that day.
He says, yeah, getting married like the day before. But I'll still help you out. I'll still run. I was like, no. You don't have to help me out the day after your wedding. You'll be busy with other stuff. But he's in St. Anne, Manitoba. So what I'm doing on July 7th, I'm running from Marchand, Manitoba, our kind of hometown, to Winnipeg. And I'm passing through small towns on the way, and I'm going to do 100K. And I want to use people I know, friends and family, as aid stations. So I'll leave like peanut butter sandwiches and mashed potatoes and whatever at their house, and I'll ask them to put it out on the front porch or whatever around a certain time, and then I'll eat. But let's get to this triathlon today. Remind me your time 2 weeks ago, Charlie. You did 2 hours and
2:23 something.
2:23, and I did 2:32.
No, 2:29 or something. 2:28.
No, but you beat me by 17 minutes on the bike.
Yeah, I know, but
I cut 4 and I cut 2. Is that right?
Yeah, you beat me by almost 4.
I think you beat me by 11 minutes. I think I did 2:34. So, anyways, you did 2:23. I did 2:34. So, how did you feel? How do you think today's going to go relative to that?
Oh, I think I'm going to crush it compared to that. I think.
Whoa, them's fighting words.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be a little bit faster on the bike, and I'm going to be a little bit faster on the run. We'll see. Well, the bike's an easier course, so...
Okay, easier course on the bike. You did 104 last time?
Yeah.
You want to break 104 today?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You want to break 102?
Well, we'll see.
Outside shot at breaking an hour?
Outside shot.
Outside shot at breaking an hour, which would be 40 kilometers an hour. I've never touched that in my life on a bike. Well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever touched that. Maybe on the downhill at the Birds Hill. So I'm definitely not doing an hour. I will say the workout I did on Tuesday was faster. I don't know if you trust Zwift output in kilometers per hour.
Well, it ignores aerodynamics, right? So.
Okay. I was practicing this morning when I was waiting for you on my aerodynamics. Remind me of the trick again. You just lower your head. Well,
it depends for each person, but you want to limit the amount of air.
I get that. You want to limit the surface that.
Yeah. So for me, like if I lowered my head a little bit, and also by moving forward a little bit, that allowed me to kind of put my back more level, so that it's not like I used to be like almost like a sail, like
pointing upwards.
Yeah.
No, I'm not asking for other people. I'm asking you specifically.
Tucking in your shoulders.
Tucking in your shoulders. So I've seen that on Tour de France. They go into a crazy tuck there.
Yeah.
Okay, so tucking in my shoulders and lowering my head. I'm going to try that a little bit today, just for fun, just to see what it does to my speed.
Well, I mean, it's incredible because all I did was that one change.
That's okay. Describe the change to me in 10 words. It's just elbows, shoulders in, head down.
So, well, it's 2 changes, I guess. So, drop my head a little bit, shoulders in, and then I also moved my butt forward and up a little bit so that my back is more level. And I went I basically gained at my Olympic wattage, I basically gained like almost 2 kilometers an hour.
So for those of you that don't know what that means, Charlie measures, and I guess most cyclists measure their output on the bike in watts. Watts is how much power you're pushing through the pedals, and it's independent of how fast you're going. It's just power. So imagine how hard you're pushing. It's kind of like weight. And when you factor in all of the wind and the variables and the downhill and all that, you get a speed. And same wattage at Olympic. Charlie's talking about the distance, Olympic triathlon distance, which is 1.5K, 40K bike, 10K jog. He's saying he gets 2 minutes, Charlie?
Well, 2 kilometers an hour, which will be almost 4 minutes.
Yeah, so
3 minutes. Let's say 3 minutes on an Olympic distance triathlon.
So instead of going like 36, you're going 38.
Exactly, yeah.
For the same outage, output.
Yeah, and I'm basing this on basically, I did a couple tests and actually I compared my wattage Birds Hill last year to this year. And yeah, it's about 2 kilometers an hour difference. It's crazy. Just by position.
So I know that those that listen to the podcast have given me feedback and said more Charlie data, less Rob BS. So Charlie, one of the things that is valuable for him and one of the reasons he's so good, I think, is, and you talked about this last pod, you take your data, you analyze, you A/B test, you look at things. I like, that's so smart. I've never thought of doing that. I mean, I thought of it, but it's just too much work. So good for you for figuring that out.
Well, I feel like I mean, you can kind of believe. My problem is I don't believe my perceptions or other people's.
You never believe me when I say anything in life.
Yeah,
anything.
Well, no, I like to have like concrete data that I can rely on that I believe, right? So, anyways,
yeah,
it's maybe a weakness, but also a strength.
Well, for this, it's definitely a strength, for sure. And when you're arguing with your wife, sometimes might be a weakness.
No, it's definitely a weakness when you're arguing with your
partner.
partner.
And with your kids. You're gonna have this thing with kids now as they get older.
Oh God,
they're gonna tell you something.
Well, it's starting on. Well, no, my 4-year-old, as a rule, disagrees with everything I say.
Yeah, and you disagree with everything he says. So it's going to be problematic at some point.
Yeah.
Kids are awesome. My kids are a little older than Charlie, so I've kind of gone through some of that yet. But okay, so you're hoping to break an hour on the bike, stretch goal.
Yeah, I don't think I'll break an hour.
No, but that would be like a Boston Kill Wildfire for you today.
It'd be like a miracle type
miracle.
Yeah.
But the swim, you're always kind of around that 30-minute mark.
No, well, the best I've ever done in a swim.
You did 29 something last year at Birds Hill, a short course you said.
No, it was 31:28. That was actually my best time ever, but it was a very short, it was a terrible race, but it was my best time.
Okay, so what do you think?
Last year I did 32.5 here at St. Malo, but the thing with the swim, to me,
you don't know how long.
It depends on how long the course is.
You don't really know how long you're getting.
Yeah, so, but I would expect around 32.
I was so disappointed when I got out of the water. Like, I pushed so hard and I had such a good swim and the time was more than last year.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, but it's course isn't the same. And you told me that Patrick specifically told you that this course was long, right?
Last year it was. It doesn't mean they redo it every year.
Okay.
Right?
What happens is they put the buoys down and like if there's wind, the buoys move, right? So you get a shorter course or longer course or whatever. Okay, so let's say 32 minutes on the swim, an hour on the bike. 4 minutes transitions would be awesome if you were able to do that.
Well, transitions are a bit shorter than Birds Hill
because less running.
Yeah.
So that puts you with to break 220.
I think I should target 3 on the transitions actually.
Okay, 3 on the transitions.
St. is easier.
32.3. That's 05 plus.
And I'd like to break 42 on the run.
So that could mean 117.
Yeah, I know, but these are all. Every time I put these numbers together for a triathlon, I never hit them. So
yeah, but you hit some and
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that'd be no. I'm not going to do that. So sorry, 32.
32.
We'll say 102 is more realistic.
102, 42. So that's 216 plus transitions.
216 plus 3, so 219.
So break 220.
Break 220 would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So trim 4 minutes kind of off your last pace.
Yeah.
I did 232. I don't really, for some reason, the only thing I care about is the run.
Yeah, I'm similar, but the only thing, it's like
the bike.
I just, I don't know why. It's weird.
I don't care about the bike. And I know it's going to be like an hour and 15 minutes of pain. But whatever. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to look forward to the run, and I want to cry. It's going to be tough to beat 40 minutes that I did 2 weeks ago. Like, that's about as good as I think I can get on a 10K after a triathlon. But whatever, I did 39.50 something, so if I could break that, that's my goal for the run. Break that time. And then flat course, though.
It's easier course, but yeah, you never know with the length of these courses, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But no tall grass running.
No tall grass running. So I think I want to break, I did 234, so I want to break 230. So that means tripping 4 minutes. I should be able to trip 4 minutes off the bike pretty easy. That was the worst bike in the history of bikes. So I want to trim 4 minutes. My swim was awesome though, so that's my goal today. Patrick, I think it's his run club that's doing it, right? Or his triathlon club?
Yeah. Patrick's an official, I think, at this event.
Yeah. Okay, so those are our goals. We'll see how today goes. And then, do you? Okay, I have this thing that I'm excited about. So this is what we're supposed to do on this podcast. We're supposed to talk about things that are exciting. So I've been humming and hawing forever about doing 100K. I've been wanting to do 100K internally forever. I just want to do one. I've just been wanting to do one, and looking at the schedule, and it hasn't been working out because I've always got stuff, and so I decided I go on a family trip with my kids this year, and I will be gone, and then by the time I get back from that, it's time to prep for Chicago. So I decided I'm just gonna do 100K. And you know what really got me going was that Ryan guy when I ran across Canada with him.
Oh yeah.
I know he's a different beast. I know but I saw a lot of similarities in how we think and how we operate and the way he was talking about. Yeah, I just went out and I did 100K. It's kind of like, that's something I would do. So I know that it's going to be very hard, but I decided I'm doing it. I'm doing 100K. I decided I'm going to do it on my birthday because it's a day that lines up perfect. It's going to be on a Sunday.
And you just have to do it every year on your birthday.
And do I stretch it every year or do it?
No.
No, do 100K on my birthday every year? That's not a bad idea, actually. But anyway, so I'm doing this 100K. I've decided I'm doing it. I'm not going to a race or anything. I'm just doing it. I really wanted to do the backyard race this year. It was on It was on your birthday.
Yeah, backyard. I saw people training for it.
When
Kayla and Greg Penner.
I know. So jealous.
Yeah.
So the backyard, for those of you that don't know, is a race where every hour on the hour you have to do 4.16 miles. 4.16 miles. The gun goes off or a bell goes off. You must be at the start line. You must start running. And you must finish your 4.16 mile loop before the hour's up.
Well, I think the requirement is that you need to be at the starting line having finished your loop.
Right.
Yeah.
You also have to be at the start line.
Yeah, you have to be at the start line.
You can't sleep through the. You can't sleep.
The next one starts.
Yeah. So every hour you must do 4.16 miles. That's how, and it's last man standing.
I wonder if we can actually go watch a little bit of that.
I was thinking of going to watching actually, because it'll be like on my way back from St. Lo.
Which day is that?
It's July 6th. It's your birthday. It's the day before. It's Saturday.
Oh, it's the same
St.
day.
Lo 200.
Same day as St. Lo.
Yeah, but you're gonna come back to the city that night probably. Swing by Blumenor.
No.
It'll still be going on.
Yeah, I'll go watch it.
So on the hour, every hour, and I'm gonna ask you, listeners, those of you that know, don't say it out loud for the other listeners. But what do you think the record is for this? So think of a number in your head where you think the record is for how long you can go every hour on the hour, 4.16 miles, nonstop. So you do get to sleep, but if you get to sleep, you have to do 4 quick miles, and then you sleep, I guess, maybe 15-20 minutes, and then the next hour you walk it or whatever. But you can't even walk. You have to walk really fast, right? Because it's fast. It's what is it? What does that come out to? 14-minute miles or something? So it's a fast walk. Just 14 and a half, 14:20. I don't know the exact pace, but between 14 and 14:30, somewhere around there. So, anyways, the record is a Canadian has the second best time ever. He's actually a Manitoban.
Can I guess?
Yeah, well, you know the answer.
No, I don't.
You don't know the answer?
Well, is it Ihor Rivera's?
Ihor's has a second best time ever in the history of this thing, but I'll tell you what.
He's yeah, okay, so my guess is like 500 miles, or sure, like 5 days worth.
Yeah, it's 4.5 days. 124, 5, I think I want to say 112 hours.
Oh God, how awful would that be?
Yeah, so you're going nonstop. You don't sleep, or if you do sleep, you're just napping 10 minutes here and there. You're eating whatever, your body just wants to shut down. You're running, basically, or really fast walk, nonstop for 5 days at a pace that most people, geez, how many people have done? So the reason they chose 4.16 is because in a day you can do your
exactly 100 miles.
Exactly 100 miles, which is kind of the golden standard. You get your buckle if you're able to do 100 miles in 24 hours. That's like a 4-hour marathon for the ultra marathon.
Yeah, 100 miles in 24 hours is really outstanding. It depends on the course, obviously.
I know, but it's an outstanding measure, and these guys do that pace for 4 days, 4.5 days.
Yeah.
The record before this guy, the championships, I think was like 3 days, and they bumped it up.
So who's got the record? It's not Ihor?
It's not Ihor. He was the last guy to bail out. I don't know who has the record, an American of some sort.
Okay.
But it was him and Ihor, and Ihor dropped out at 112, and the other guy did one more loop.
Wow.
And that's it. And tapped out. What a wimp. Couldn't keep going. No, I'm kidding. So, anyways, there's a backyard in Blumenort. I believe it's called Old Tom's Backyard.
Yeah.
So here's what happened at the office. I started talking about this 100K, and Marco said, just go do it. Just go do your backyard. Because I wanted to do the backyard. I said, no, I can't. Stand up 200. He's like, you don't do anything on the team. Be there for prep day, and then leave Saturday morning and go do your race. I'm like, really? So I looked at it, and I went to sign up. It was sold out.
Yeah, no, it's sold out for like 6 months. Because I remember there's a guy on my hockey team, his wife is in it. And I was like, oh, I think I'll sign up for that. And he's like, this was like in January. He's like, oh, it's been sold out for months.
Yeah. So this is kind of like when I bumped into Terren, it was Mox at Men's League on Tuesday before the Manitoba Marathon. And I was like, hey, boys, you guys still running? They're like, yeah, we're still running. Cool, right on, awesome. You guys running this weekend? And they go, not sure yet. I might do the half. I don't know yet. Might do the 10K. I'm like, you haven't signed up? No. I'm like, well, guys, it's been sold out for months. Oh, okay, I guess we're not running then. It's kind of like me with the backyard. Anyway, so I want to do the backyard, but then that's not happening. So I just want to do 100K, so I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to leave Marchand, Manitoba. I'm going to go through Le Brocry. I'm going to go through Saint Anne. I'm going to go through Lorette. It's a bit of a ways, that one. And then I go through Ile-des-Chênes, and then I come up the 59. I'll hit someone up in Windsor Park or Sage Creek, and then I go home. So that entire thing is 100 kilometers on the nose, pretty much. I'm going to adjust as I get closer to home there, but I wanted to ask you about pacing. I've asked you already, but I've thought some more about what you said. So my only goal in doing this is completing and not being miserable. So I know, like I've done 2 ultras, a 52 miler and a 60K, and I was 58K, I think, and I was miserable at the end of my 52 miler. Miserable at the end. I didn't. Yeah. So I don't want to do that because I'm by myself, right? So I'm going to be in the mode of quitting. So I've asked you about pace, Charlie. What do you think for pace?
Okay, so my original number that I gave you was, I think, 8 minutes per kilometer, which is about 13 minutes a mile.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna tell you another thought that I had previously when I was thinking about when I would do 100K.
Yeah. How would you? Or start?
But this was like, I was thinking if I raced it, like this is how I would race it. But I've never done ultras, so this is like, who knows?
You'd be good at ultras, though.
So I was thinking I would like break it up into 10 kilometer stretches where I'd start off at like first 10 kilometers, max heart rate like 120, which would probably be like 110 for you, and then go up by 5 for every 10 kilometers on like my max heart rate. So I would just kind of walk, run, depending on where I'm at. And it would feel like the beginning would feel really, really easy. Like the first 30K would feel super easy because you're like 120, 125, 130. Like super, super easy. It's mostly walking, like more walking than running probably. And then as you get into the race, like you'll allow yourself higher heart rate, so you can, if you can run more. If not, then you can just keep walking at the same pace, and it stays manageable the entire time.
You know who had this exact race plan?
Who?
Pepe Jerry.
Oh yeah. That's
Our grandpa.
Yeah. He invented the negative.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I mean, it's been around for a while.
No. They invented it at Scott's party.
Yeah.
Or Tom's party? Or Bill's party?
But Pepe Jerry, what a strategy for my dad's 50-miler. Yeah.
So there's an episode, if you haven't caught it, with my parents. And in that episode, my dad talks about his ultra marathon race strategies back when he was a kid. He did ultras when he was like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think, and he failed the first year. And then he completed 4 of them 50 milers as a preteen. And his best year was 9 hours.
For a 50-miler.
Like that is unreal. Such a fast time. Anyways, and he would do that. My grandpa would say first 10 miles, you're walking. What did he do? Did he walk the whole thing?
I think it was like walk 3
hydro poles.
3 hydro poles.
And then run 1. And then it was walk 2, run 1.
Yeah.
Then it was run 1, walk, run. Then it was run 2, walk 1. And the last 10 miles, he could run the whole thing.
Whatever he wanted,
yeah. And he said he passed 1 million people on the last 10 miles because he was fresh. And that's how he did a 9-hour and I think 16-minute 50-miler.
So it's kind of that concept of getting the free miles early on. I feel like that also applies to marathons, but probably even way more for ultras.
So I talked to Joel about this, my personal trainer who does ultras. He says, I asked him this specifically. I said, here's Charlie's idea. What do you think? And he said, man, I don't know, man. I would make hay when the sun, while you're able to. I would make hay when the sun's out. I would be doing.
But I've been reading up, and the best ones are like the world champions are starting to do. It's a new thing that's happening. The best ultra marathoners are actually doing negatives now.
Charlie, I believe it. You did a presentation, which we're going to put up on the channel shortly, about negatives and finishing strong and how important it is for marathons. Such a good video. You guys have to check that out. It's not up yet. We'll let you know when it's up. But
yeah, I have no clue about ultra. So yeah,
I believe it. I believe that doing a negative for any race,
yeah, including
a 100-meter dash.
Well, 100
because you start out of the blocks, you're slower.
Well, I mean that's why Usain. That's why he's so fast in the 200.
200, you have a negative.
Slows down less. He saves his energy at the beginning.
400, you do a negative. Maybe 800, you don't do a negative.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only race.
I think 800 is the one race where.
So I think I want to do a negative, Charlie. What I told Joel is, what if I just pretended I had a marathon to do at kilometer 60?
Yeah, get the free miles
and just kind of walk 60K. He said, no, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be bored out of your mind. I think I won't be bored.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to walk 60K and then do a marathon.
I think you run a little bit. And
you said 12. There's a cyclist. You said 12 minutes per. Did you say 12 minutes per mile?
Well, I think my original thought was 8 minutes a kilometer.
Which is 13 and change, I think.
Yeah.
So I've kind of averaged it out. I've mapped it out. I've made a nutrition plan, a hydration plan, how much food I have to leave at every stop. And I've used 5 miles an hour as a rough indicator
it's similar,
of where I'll be.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm going to walk some and run some slowly. Joel was like, how did you do it your 50 miler? I said, well, I jogged the whole thing. Did you jog the entire thing? He said, I walked the 8 stations, but I jogged the whole thing.
Yeah, no, and your time was, you like pretty much did an even split at that.
As close
like, I mean, you were a bit of a positive.
Slightly.
But it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was something like 3 hours for my first loop, 3:06 for my second loop,
and like 3:10,
yeah.
Which is amazing.
3:04 and 3:10, that's what it was. 3 hours, 3:04, 3:10.
And you were you passing people at the end?
Oh, passing everyone, yeah. Everyone was walking, right? So I was jogging still at the end of a 80 whatever kilometers. So Joel said, there you go, you did that on trail, but I don't want to have that experience.
Yeah, but that was a like max effort. And you
max effort, and I was doing 50 miles Saturday, Sundays. Yeah. I was doing 32 milers on the treadmill by myself.
I need that training plan.
that was like the peak.
I don't think it's ideal for Ironman, but
well, it's what So I haven't told Patrick I'm doing this yet because it's kind of like when you
surprise.
It's kind of like when you you're like, hey babe, did I tell you we're going to Game 7 for? Did I mention that? Oh yeah.
It's like when you put in your twosome, you put in your comments that you were gonna do the awesome twosome.
Yeah. With
me.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do the hey, remember? I was gonna do that.
To who? To me?
To Patrick. Like I didn't put it in my calendar or anything.
Oh, and he's like, looks like you're doing the run with Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Charlie's saying on Training Peaks, we have this app, Training Peaks, where we communicate with our coach. So every jog, you put your comments, how you felt, whatever. And in there, I put doing the awesome twosome with Charlie on Saturday, really pumped, probably 2 days before or something.
Yeah.
And hey, and Patrick finds out.
Hey, by the way, I'm running out.
He's told me in the past that he's found out races from you that I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Like
probably.
Rob and I are doing the WFPS on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it's probably happened more to you. I usually put him in. But...
No, but like this one, he'll like a 5K, a 10K,
the 100K.
100K. He might,
that could be a surprise. It's like that time we did 35K
without telling him. Yeah, I just went out. He did tell me the day I went out with Ryan. So Ryan, like yeah. So I want to do it. I don't want to kill myself, and I want to have a good time. So, and I'm actually going to ask, so those of you that are listening to this podcast, if you live in any of those areas and you want to come run with me for 10K or 15K, I'd love for anyone to come run with Rob if you want. I'm going to start at what time would you start, Charlie? I was thinking 4:30.
Yeah, about there. Yeah, 4.
Do you think the lack of sleep, do you think I'm better to start at 6:30 and get sleep? No, you're better to start early, avoid the heat, get as many miles as you can.
Avoid the heat and the traffic and...
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's what Joel said too. Like, no, get up at 4, out the door at 4:15, 4:30. And so yeah, if you're listening and you're on that path somewhere, Le Brocry, Saint Anne, Dufrost, Lorette, Ile-des-Chênes, 59, Ground Point, let me know. Hit me up. If you want to be an aid station, I could leave water and peanut butter sandwiches at your house, or gels, and because I don't want to carry this stuff. Do you think I could do the entire thing self-sustained by just leaving care packages at those places?
Yep.
I think so too. I'll have I've talked to Mom already. I got her on standby. I said, hey, do you want to do something for my birthday? Yeah, what do you want to do?
Just support me for 16 hours.
Just need you to be on standby for 14 hours, Mom. Yeah, no problem. My mom's awesome. So, what did she send me? She sent us a note. One thing I've learned about your podcast... triathlons are hard, marathons are hard, 5Ks are hard. Like, okay, Mom, I get it. You're chirping us, but marathons are hard.
Yeah, and 5Ks are painful.
So percolate on that, listeners, viewers. We're gonna talk more about that in the coming weeks. We're gonna put a pause here to this episode. Go run a triathlon here. And Charlie, anything else you want to add here?
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Races are fun. And it's okay to not do as well as you think you'll do. The more of these that you do, the more you feel ready for... We sure there's a race today? It doesn't look too racy.
Don't know.
Is it maybe tomorrow? It's not tomorrow, is it?
No, it's today.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's some cyclists.
Yeah. Great TT position there.
Great position on the TT. They've already started. They're racing. We're late.
This is super downhill. This part is like last year I was scared, but this year I'm just gonna go all out.
Well, you're now always doing 40K an hour, so this is the new you. It's kind of like on that Tour de France on chain. Those guys are going 80K,
100K down
100K. Oh my
down there.
God! And people die. Oh, it's the worst. People
One guy.
Well, one guy died, and other guys have died. It's not great.
Yeah. No.
But did you see that time trial? They all just crash. Everyone crashes. Another crash in turn 3.
Oh yeah, because it was slippery.
Yeah, they're all crashing. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us 5 stars. We appreciate it. Tell your friends, and we will see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.